Hi, hello, and thank you for taking the time to check out my video on our page, Guild for All. I am Dr. Picolya Robinson. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a licensed psychologist, I'm an adjunct instructor. I teach predominantly at Southwest College. I am an adjunct faculty issues committee member, an e-board delegate. And since beginning my teaching career with LACCD, this was maybe 5 or 6 years ago, if we don't count that COVID year. And I must say, initially, it was extremely difficult as an adjunct, as you all may know, because we all may have started out as an adjunct, whether you're full time now or wherever you're at in your career, or currently still adjunct. But it's difficult navigating, finding your way around your campus, and all things related to being new to LACCD. And even navigating various campuses if you've had that luxury of being that freeway flyer and bouncing from campus to campus. Um, that stuff is hard. One of the most difficult things I encountered is even understanding having a contract. I needed a manual to understand this thick manual, a study partner, an interpreter. And if you're anything like me, it's still difficult to understand. And I just didn't get it. But as my questions continue to build, my general character, my leadership attitude, just overall experience of being involved, building programs, advocacy, that attitude led me to wanting to be more involved in the guild and finding out answers and who to go to. And even more so, if I was not liking the answers I got, what could I do to change it? See something, say something wasn't enough for me. I wanted to be a part of change. So as I sit here today, several years later from starting out at the district, I'm happy to have gained the experience over these last couple of years, which have led me to be encouraged to run for such a prestigious position as Guild Secretary. I think of this role as the secretary to do just that. We need to create a record, an accurate record. Even if that's just minutes for e-board and how I'm going to do this and the executive committee stuff, the any other non-traditional or unrelated kind of things that we tend to see day to day. I want to consult with our officers. I want to handle notices and correspondence at the direction of our president. And therefore, upholding that name, which used to be the recording secretary, to keep meticulous notes that ensure the policies and procedures of the union are put down in writing, made accessible to the members, with timestamps, with dates. I want to keep these records and update these records and these policies and procedures of what the union does, what the union has done, because that's going to be a benefit to the extension of the transparency we desire. And it will also hold ourselves accountable to the standards that we want to have set. It will also ensure that we understand, and for the generations to come, to be able to build upon what we're doing here today. We need to know what worked for this union, why were decisions made, who made the decisions, and if they still uphold and apply to the days and times that we will be in. Keeping up with the legacy of our current recording secretary, who I have tremendous respect for, Mindy Chin, and those community agreements. That is fabulous. We are to be hard on issues and not on people. If you've been around this guild, you can see and may have experienced this culture. Our meetings can get tough, they can get difficult, but we have to go back and remember we are here as a collective, and we have to remain that way. We have to be hard on the issues that divide us and not attack one another by being divisive. It just feeds it. It's very important to me. I believe communication is crucial to culture, to growth, and the development of our guild. That's something I will definitely make sure that it stays around, and more importantly, it's adhered to. As a licensed psychologist, my ability to ask tough questions, gently challenge, get clarification, building relationships is in alignment with the needs of the Guild. Um, I'm not a stranger to keeping records. As as a psychologist, keeping records is vital to our entire career in marking in the sand for understanding where we started and documenting progress. So therefore, my clients can see it, I can see it, and we can make adjustments as needed. Adding to our policies and our procedures should no longer be left up to interpretation, but it should be able to be understood by all of our members and written in a visibly reader friendly and appealing way and in one location for anyone to be able to go and find this. That's our website. Many of the things I've encountered in sitting on committees and having questions about policies, having questions about procedures, how committees run and function, and, just the in and outs of those things. I can go to leadership now and ask them, what's the history of this decision? Where did this come from? And they can tell me. However, I would love to be able to go and get this information right there on the website. Not everyone may have access to our Guild leaders in the way I was able to have access to them when we were meeting together and in the same offices at the same time. Sometimes that is convenient, which all members should have that same opportunity to get that same information as I can get. I also want to, as in a sense of keeping policies in alignment with the Guild mission statement. Again, do even our members know what our mission statement is, where to find that? And furthermore, do you even know what it is? Like, again, where is this stuff? I'll tell you this statement as it reads on the website, and ask yourself, do you know how the Guild is doing this, and in what ways and what policies and what procedures are showing this, what actions, and how do I find it in writing? One, this mission is to improve our students' learning conditions and our working conditions. How do we do that? Creating inclusive space and opportunities for members' engagement, mobilization, and leadership. We see this growing, right? Organizing members to build power, advancing social justice, and standing in solidarity with our students and our communities. Is this happening in your schools, in your communities? Do you feel the Guild is doing this? And where do we go and say, this is how we are really aligning with this? My experience as a member of AFIC, our Adjunct Faculty Issues Committee, for the past 4 years, keeping records there of our minutes, this gave me the experience and understanding of how important keeping accurate record is. As these minutes, they go to eBoard and we get to make decisions, and we've made some really big decisions this year under the leadership of Dr. St. Paul that really clarified our roles and our duties as AFIC. And again, keeping those minutes, typing that up and sending it to eBoard where it can be decided on in a greater a greater volume was very helpful for us. We needed that. Negotiations was or is another example where it was very important for me to keep record, an accurate record, and assisting our team in identifying areas that needed to be reviewed and to what degree. Being elected to Guild leadership means a seat at the negotiation table. That is a seat I have held, and it's in a very important role. My experience serving in that role and keeping an accurate record speaks volumes to my ability to carry out this task again, and yet many other tasks the secretary will have and needs to have in order to improve this union. This role for me is important. This role is a seat at the table with your vote. I thank you for taking your time for listening, and hopefully your support as well, as I step up to be a part of a major shift and the changing of the guard our union is calling for. And our union is calling for change and diversity and expansion in many ways. And as I sit here, I sit in a position in the obvious as a woman, a Black woman, in being a part of diversifying our union in ideas and thoughts, and yet keeping that same leadership mentality, that go-getting attitude, and that experience that needs to remain in place in order to continue to push this skill forward. Furthermore, your vote means a lot to me and serves as an indicator, again, of this experience. You backing someone who has been in the fight for members, has won battles during these negotiations, and I'm equipped with the knowledge of what more needs to happen and what more needs to be done, and what can continue to happen when all faculty alike, whether that's full-time, part-time, non-credit, everything, when we stick together. When we stand together, we're stronger. Together we stand, divided we fall. When focusing on ways we are alike, that way we can build a much stronger guild. Again, your vote for me is a vote for the seat at the table. I am a part of the Guild for All team in regards to that coming together, that diversity, that strength, and that experience. Thank you again for listening and taking the time. I am Dr. Picolya Robinson, and I am running for Guild Secretary.